Welcome to Portal to Ascension Radio. Are you ready to expand your consciousness? Your hosts are Neil and Sol Gore. This is a revolutionary, cutting-edge, and deeply esoteric program. Join us as we explore the nature of our reality.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Portal to Ascension Radio. This is your host, Neil Gore, the founder of Portal to Ascension. Thank you all so much for joining us today. This is our second radio show that I'm broadcasting live, and it's just a 1 month quick impromptu Portal to Ascension Radio broadcast, blasting this out to the masses, where we are basically setting up every single presenter that is going to be working with us for the Portal to Ascension Conference in October, with a radio show where our plan is to not only have them on the show so we can discuss, the wisdom that they share and discuss their participation in Portal to Ascension Conference, but also have them come and do a webinar interview with us. But for now, for this next month, almost every single day, we're gonna have broadcast live with different presenters. And today we actually had a presenter on that I cannot get a hold of. Her name is Trisha McCandon. A lot of you probably know her. We've done, I don't even know how many events, countless events with her. She's been on our platform many, many times, shares great information. But we did just schedule this broadcast just like 2 days ago. So I got a feeling she just messed up with her scheduling, so we'll get her back on another time. But the good thing is that this actually gives me the opportunity to talk to everyone and to discuss, what Portal to Ascension is doing and our intention and what we're going to be doing for this year. So we are going to bring on someone today, though. We're going to bring on Joan of Angels. She's going to be joining us in about 20 to 25 minutes. And we are actually doing an event with her tonight in Irvine, California. So it's called Awakening to Miracles. It's tonight in Irvine, California at 7 p.m. at the School of Multidimensional Healing Arts Center. So School of Multidimensional Healing in Irvine at 7 p.m. And it's going to be a free event with Joan of Angels, in which she's going to provide spiritual tools, help you tap into your archangels and your angelic essence, and also just provide self-empowerment tools so that you can shift your consciousness and raise your vibratory frequency. So again, this is the Portal to Ascension Radio, and we're going to have different speakers from the conference be joining us over the next 2 weeks, almost every single day. If you want to know more about who's going to be joining us, sign up for the page, follow the Blog Talk Radio Show, go to facebook.com/Portal to Ascension, and that is actually our fan page. You can go to events there, and we have a list of all the radio shows that are going to be coming up. And if you're interested in learning about the conference, the Portal to Ascension Conference, you can do that by going to ascensionconference.com. That's ascensionconference.com. We actually are still designing the website, so it'll be up very soon. But some upcoming interviews, we have an interview with John D'Souza, the ex-FBI agent. That's coming up on February 19th, where we're going to discuss his involvement in the FBI and the paranormal files that he found there, or that he was responsible for. Then the day after that, on February 20th, we have a live interview with Ray Hernandez, who's an experiencer from the Free Organization, and he worked closely with Dr. Edgar Mitchell, the astronaut, one of the astronauts that went to the moon. And these two individuals, of course, are going to be at the Ascension Conference. Then the day after that, February 21st, we have Teresa Yanaros from Divine Frequency. Then we have Yoshi, who is an MC, a conscious hip-hop artist, on February 22nd. Then we got, on February 24th, another conscious artist, musician called Torkum G. We'll be discussing the Cosmic 432 and conscious music. And then a really amazing interview that I'm looking forward to with Robert Schock, where we'll be discussing ancient Egypt and the true dating of the Sphinx in ancient Egypt and our true world history. Then we have quite a few more interviews coming up that we'll announce on the upcoming radio shows. So since we are doing kind of an impromptu event right now, if anybody is listening in and you want to call in, you want to ask any questions, please go ahead and do so. The dial-in number, the guest call-in number is 515-602-9749, 515-602-9749. If you have any questions, consciousness, disclosure, government cover-ups, advanced technology, or if you want to make a comment on anything or simply just join the discussion, please do call in. So right now, before we get into talking about talking about the nitty-gritty of what we're doing with this conference and also bringing on Joan of Angels, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you about some of the events we have coming up. So for those of you who do not know, Portal to Ascension is an online consciousness university for all things consciousness. So all things conscious. We deal from things from conscious nutrition to self-empowerment, ancient civilizations, UFO disclosure, advanced technology, ancient technology, true world history, ancient origins, hidden truths, basically any aspect of conscious awareness that can empower us to become the sovereign individuals we were meant to be and lead us to the truth and the remembrance of who we are and why we are here on this planet. So in this, we have been growing. We have been around for 8 years now, and actually 10 years. I've been saying 8 years for the last 2 years, but we've been around for around 10 years now. Last 3 years, everything went online, and we just launched our new platform on portaltoascension.org. It's kind of like a spiritual Netflix, if you will, that you can just go there right now, go to portaltoascension.org, sign up right where it says sign up for free membership access, and you will get a welcome email with your login credentials where you can go into our website back end and you can go ahead and navigate hundreds of hours of free footage of webinars that we've done with amazing presenters on a range of different topics for the last 5 years. So go ahead and check that out. And if at any point you want to upgrade, you can always upgrade your membership, and you get access to not only thousands of hours of footage that we've created, conferences, workshops, live streams, but you'll also get access to all the upcoming webinars so you can attend live. And the really amazing thing with our platform is that we allow for interaction speakers, which is an amazing thing where you get to kind of talk and powwow with the speakers and not only learn from them, but speak to them one-on-one about all of this awareness. So what you might find in the documentary, let's say like a 5-minute documentary, 5 minutes within a documentary, we have actually expanded upon and done full-on presentations on just that little bit amount. So what you actually are getting when you go to Portal to Ascension is next level awareness in presentation format, so that the dedicated light workers and the ones that are really here to teach this information to the masses can come to our website, learn from it, and then go out into the world and teach this to everyone. So what I recommend is you go to our website, check it out, and start learning, start learning and getting this information out. Part of what our intention really is to get this information out, not to just the people who already know. It's not, even though most of our people that attend are people that know about this stuff or have been into it for quite some time, but it's also to present this information in a linear format so that those who are not aware about this can be proven that we're all interconnected, that we're all one. Sacred geometry is the precedence of our cellular makeup. Quantum physics is the new science that is actually an ancient science that bridges religion, spirituality, and mainstream linear science, that we're redefining the world that we live in with this information and this awareness. So by teaching these classes and presenting it in a way where even those who aren't in the know, now have been taught and now have the ability to see and conceptualize in their brain that this is a reality, that we are interconnected. There is an unseen dimension. The truth of sound and vibration, the truth of our ancient origins are now resurfacing with forbidden archaeology and strange archaeology and the alternative movement becoming the mainstream movement. Also, with the documents coming out, the CIA documents, the UFO documents, the WikiLeaks emails, all of this is now coming up and is confirming to us that this is a reality. What we knew as esoteric, what has been cast off as New Age for so long, is actually a science of something that is real, and now we are able to prove it. So what happens when you're able to prove this consciousness? When you're able to prove this consciousness and you take it out to the masses, slowly but surely, those who have any sense of logic within them that are presented this information really need to accept it into some level of their reality, because not only is it truth, but it also can be proven, and it can also empower us to live a reality based on unity, transparency, and harmony. We've lived in a world for too long where we've been in distortion. So there's something to not imposing your beliefs on people and telling them and saying like, hey, this is a reality. But there is also another truth. And the other truth is realizing that we've lived in a world where we live in extreme disharmony, extreme distortion, extreme separation, extreme patriarchy, where there is no balance. So part of this awareness that we're sharing is to bring back that creative energy, that loving divine feminine frequency, and the divine masculine frequency, so that we can have a marriage of oneness and start living on the earth in more harmony, not living from the ego, not living from forgetfulness, but living from a place of truth and inner peace. So that is really what Portal to Ascension is all about, and we've created multiple platforms to bring forward this awareness. We have reached out to really big speakers and those not so well known, and we're working with all of them. We're producing events for them, live streams from them, and then tours. And part of what we're doing, what we just launched, which I'm really excited to let everyone know about, and we just sent an email just a few days ago about this, is our other live event counterpart, which is Global Ascension Tours. So not only have we got Portal to Ascension, which is the online university for all things consciousness, but then we have Global Ascension Tours. And in Global Ascension Tours, it's all of our live events. So you go there, the feel is similar to the Portal Ascension site, globalascensiontours.com. And we're actually going to be embarking on a few different tours this year. Really, there was 3 elements of what we represent and what we are really striving for. One would be rewriting our history books. So a lot of you listening probably really already know that our history books have been written and rewritten and written again by the victors, that what we know as history has been distorted so much that we're not even sure what the true history is. Something as close as the Vietnam War and within this last century. There's so much lies, so much distortion, so much manipulation, so much dishonesty that it's just become this evil web where we can't really see through it. So what we're attempting to do is start breaking down those barriers, start rounding up the archaeologists, the researchers, the information that proves that there is another trajectory to our human history that we have not been told, and then we're putting it on our platform. So individuals like Graham Hancock, Michael Tellinger, Brian Forrester, Hugh Newman, Trisha McCannon, William Henry. We feature a lot of events with these individuals, plus many, many more. And they really are out there providing this information that paints a different picture. So the next step to that, though, is after we spread awareness on it and get it out to more people, create documentaries, put it out on YouTube, really get more people, the next step really is how are we going to change the actual history books? Because who has the control and the power of changing these history books? Well, there's a couple of things going on here. We have not only governments that actually have an alternative agenda that they do not want us to know our true history, because if we do know, it might not even be governments, it might be elite that's even beyond that. If we were to know our true history, the occult history, the tap into consciousness, the truth about Christianity and Gnosticism and meditation and frequency, it would create a sense of empowerment for the masses where we can regain our sovereignty and they can lose power. So that's one angle. Another angle is organized religion. Religion has a say on the world in many countries on such a level that a lot of people really can't change the history books. For example, my wife and I, we just got back from Peru a few months ago. And the whole of Peru is literally like one big archaeological site. It's just, you can go into the backyard of somebody's house and dig up a hole in the backyard, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone found an elongated skull skeleton, because it seems like there was a lot of ancient activity in Peru and a lot of information that's not being shared. The Peruvian government, there's so much archaeological sites, they can't even monitor it. They don't even try to monitor it. Not until someone from the Western world comes and says, hey, this is gold right here, you guys can make money off it, do they even start making it available to the public. So they are also a Catholic country. It's not easy for archaeologists to create archaeological digs over there and do other kind of work, because information that is coming out of Peru can really rewrite human history and take the eye off Christianity as what has been painted out to be, and the history and the timeline of what we've been given for Catholicism and Christianity. So what did they do? So instead, it just becomes harder and harder to release this truth. And you can look all the way throughout South America. South America is a very sad case because of what? Because the fact is that they are strewn everywhere with all these advanced sites, archaeological sites, and because of religion and because of corruption and because of poverty, there are a lot of this, and because of maybe a higher elite not even wanting it to happen, a lot of this information isn't even able to be shared with the world. What would happen if we put ourselves aside, put our religion aside, and realize that, we want to make some powerful impacts on the world. We want to make a change. We want to see our truth and look at everything from a factual, neutral basis, because we're not coming factually to any ideas. We're not coming neutrally for any ideas. If we were just to look at things neutrally and just put some time, energy, research, money into all of this, what kind of results can we actually achieve from it? So that brings me back to my statement about us being about rewriting the history book. So what is the next step besides spreading this awareness? The next step is really lobbying these governments, talking to the elite, sending messages, and in order for governments to know the truth, because some of them may actually be able to or even want to change our history books. So that's just one aspect. There's many different levels. Really, truly, it's going to be a grassroots level. We need to inform the masses. But what is happening, and what Graham Hancock said in his last book, is that the quote unquote alternative archaeological movement is becoming so bigger than the mainstream movement, that they can't cover it up anymore. So all the mainstream archaeologists are like, oh, that's not true. There was no great flood. That doesn't connect to Noah. That there wasn't advanced civilization that existed before us. All those archaeologists that are saying that are now not able to deny the evidence that is coming out to say that what they're saying is false. Part of that, one of the biggest things, 13,500 years ago, there was a great flood. There's evidence of it everywhere. It looks like there was an advanced civilization that existed on Earth, maybe multiple advanced civilizations. And through this great flood that actually occurred through a cataclysmic impact of a meteorite on Earth, many species were wiped off the planet. This is coming out even more mainstream. Bruce Lipton's talking about this. Graham Hancock's talking about this. Brian Forrest is talking about this. Michael Tellinger's talking about this. But then also news articles, Science Daily is talking about it. The different mainstream articles, even regular like MSNBC, are saying things like evidence coming out for this great flood. We've now proven, and mainstream scientists have said, that after a couple of million years of a civilization being wiped out from the planet, chances are the only thing we would be able to see are maybe like pyramids, something like pyramids. We know, we can conceptualize that there were great civilizations that existed on the planet, not too long ago, or even longer than that ago. Chances are a lot of the evidence, especially if there was nuclear fallout or something like that, could have been wiped from the face of the earth. So there is no study to say that we are the most advanced civilization that exists on the earth. The only study that exists is the fact that we can only prove that we're the most advanced civilization that ever existed on the earth because we can't find anything from an ancient civilization that predated us. And the reason for that could be many things. Could be even just the simple act of time. But what we're now realizing, and what has been realized within esoteric wisdom for very, very long, is that it seems that we have cycles of consciousness. 26,000 years cycles of consciousness. Some people say 25,000 years, 26,000 years, plus or minus. And then through these cycles of consciousness, we seem to go through different ages, and a golden age, a dark age, a bronze age, and through cycles of consciousness. In the golden age, we live in peace with the earth with high advanced organic conscious technology. In the dark age, it's kind of symbolized from our separation from source, separation from the oneness and our interconnectedness. So we've really been, in the dark ages, and the Kabbalic texts, the Hindu texts, the Vedic texts, the ancient Chinese scriptures all over the world talks about us being in the Dark Ages. The Indians call it the Kali Yuga, the Dark Ages, and then we're going into the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age is us going on our way to enlightenment, on our way to a higher level of consciousness, and that is where we are now. So while that happens, what happens around us? A lot of the inorganic, unconscious technology, unconscious behaviorisms, unconscious structures start collapsing. And when those collapse, it looks like chaos all around us. It could look like chaos because a lot of these systems need to actually phase out. They need to be phased out. Something needs to happen in order for them to be able to be replaced by something that is more organic and more conscious. So right now, for example, Trump being the president, wars all over the world, the duality, the separation, all of this are just growing pains for us to get to the spiritual evolution. I honestly believe that we're on this planet in order to learn to live together. From my research, from my understanding of different extraterrestrial races and civilizations, there doesn't ever seem to be such an impacted, dense population of so many different species and races like there is on Earth. In fact, it looks like that we could be a library of consciousness, that we could literally be a library of DNA from many, many different races throughout our galaxy. And I honestly believe we are. So we are here to learn how to live together. Have we done a good job of that? No, we have definitely not done a good job of living together. We have created war, separation, duality, darkness, death. However, should we judge ourselves for that? No. The reason we went through all that is because we were in the Dark Ages. There is no judgment. That is the paradox, that we've done darkness. We have lived duality. What way does separation manifest in your reality? Separation in your reality might manifest from you committing a crime or you doing something that might not be morally correct. And on some level, deep down, you understand that what it means to be good and what it means to change and do something positive in the world. But at the same time, we've been here to experience these things. Now is the time for us to experience unity. So that's a long, long explanation of one of the aspects of Portal to Ascension. So then we go into disclosure, and it all connects, it all ties in. So the disclosure of the extraterrestrial presence, that's a huge thing for us. Disclosure of the extraterrestrial presence, past, present, and future. There was a time where I couldn't really say that out loud and say that to people, that this is what I do for a living. But now and closer and closer, the further and further we go into the future, it becomes more of a hot topic. Recently, in December 16th, the members of the Pentagon went on to CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times and just said that they had a UFO program, a UAP program, unidentified aerial phenomena, in which they confirmed that extraterrestrials probably do exist because these are nothing terrestrial, in which there are many, many different layers to what they're actually trying to achieve and what they're actually trying to say. However, the fact is that this exists, they know it is a reality, and they're trying to disclose it for some sort of reason. Plus, go to the CIA's website, type in UFO CIA on Google, find all the documents that they have there, countless articles, FBI, CIA, UFO, type those in, see what you find on the FBI's website, their own website. The CIA just released in January online an article showing the date, a CIA-sponsored remote viewing session of Mars. I think it was over 1 million years ago. So what does that mean? The CIA has an article on their website in which they have a remote viewer looking at Mars and how it looked millions of years ago, in order to find out who lived on the planet, the ancestry of the planet, the extraterrestrials on the planet, and the advanced technology that they had on that planet. So obviously they know something is going on. So what we're doing is we're working with a lot of people within the disclosure movement. We're doing the disclosure tour this year with Paula Harris. We're going to do something with Stephen Greer. We work with many different speakers, and we're going to be taking the disclosure tour around the world in order to disclose this to local communities, and kickstart this grassroots movement that is already pretty much on fire. And then lastly, our third, we're about many things, but one of the third things that everything goes within is the evolution of consciousness. So we exist in order to assist in the paradigm shift and assist in the evolution of consciousness. Just like I told you earlier about the cycles of time and the ages and us going into the golden age. Part of that is a consciousness shift. We've been in the consciousness of duality and separation. We're going into the consciousness of unity and oneness. So the evolution of our consciousness is evolving us to a higher dimension of existence, a higher dimension of truth and oneness, so that we can live and usher in heaven and utopia on planet Earth, because we really can. We have the technology, we have the know-how, we have the skills, we have the abundance of resources, even though we're told we live in lack. We have all of those in order to create peace on Earth. So why don't we do it? Corruption, greed, alternative extraterrestrial agendas. What is it? What is the real reason? Conspiracies, war. There are so many mechanisms in place within this system and this structure that are no longer needed, that are just creating more of the separation. So what we're doing is helping people find their inner peace, helping people find their own awareness, their own self-truth. This is the age of the self-guru, the age of the guru, where we listen to our old teachers, our old pastors and priests. Our parents are all gone. It's time to really go within and see your own truth from within. And by realizing your own truth from within, your external reality without of you will reflect that consciousness. So that is what we're here for. Okay, everyone. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take a few-minute break. I'm going to contact my next speaker, Joan of Angels, and see if she's coming on right now. So why don't you all just take a few minutes, grab some tea, grab some water. We'll be back in around 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, see you guys in a bit. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Neil with Portal to Ascension Radio. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we just went down and broke down basically what Portal to Ascension is all about and what we've been doing and what our plans are for this year. And now we're gonna shift a bit, and I'm just gonna mention really quick that by the end of this event, before we get over, I'll go ahead and list off some of our events coming up. But again, this series of Portal to Ascension radio shows, we had one last week of Bruce Lipton. That's its own thing. But starting now, today with Joan of Angels, is going to be back-to-back every single day for the next month, different speakers that are going to be at the Portal to Ascension Conference, so that we can showcase the awareness that they're sharing. And the intention really is that for this whole year, we're just going to go hardcore. We're going to go hardcore with this awareness, rewriting the history books, disclosure, spiritual essence. And then our plan is to end the year in October with a celebration in Irvine, California, October 5th, 6th, and 7th at ascensionconference.com, where we're going to celebrate the awareness and the shifts that we're going to make, because this year is going to be extremely impactful. It's going to be huge. And we're going to have a party at the end of it. So we want to see you all there. And if you can come there live, you can actually live stream the event. Ascensionconference.com. We're planning to have at least 1,000 to 2,000 live streamers, viewing parties worldwide, creating a global grid work of awareness and consciousness, so we can not only meditate, but we can synergize our energy for truth and oneness. Okay, so now we're going to bring on a good friend of ours, my wife and myself, Joan of Angels. And this is, I'm really happy that she's actually joining us right now, because we did have Trisha McCannon, as I said earlier, but something came up with scheduling and she's not going to be joining us. But this is perfect, because in just about 4 hours from now, we're going to be doing a live event with Joan in Irvine, California at 7 p.m. at the School of Multidimensional Healing. So just put that in Google, put that in Google Maps, and just make your way down there. Get there just before 7. And if you can't attend live, we're going to live stream it. YouTube.com/Portal to Ascension. You can check it out. So let's go ahead and bring Joan on, and let's talk to her. So let's see here. Joan, are you there?
I am here, Neil, and excited.
Hey, Joan. How are you?
How are you over there? Well,
doing awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on.
I know. I'm so excited. You're going to accompany me for part of the trip over to tonight to Awaken to Miracles.
Yep, it's going to be great. So Joan, I want to not only have you on here because you are actually going to be you're the first in the series of speakers we're going to be having at the Portal to Ascension Conference. So I want to showcase you because your awareness has really assisted myself and my wife, and I've seen the impact that you've had on the world. And also talk about, who you are, what you do, and what's going to be experienced tonight. So why don't you just go ahead and tell us about, who you are and your mission.
Oh, I so appreciate that. So say that my mission is to really awaken, activate, and help people remember really who they are, why they're here, what their gifts are, and their purposes. And so beneath everything I do, and I know you know that I do this, there's a way of connecting us with who we are and really our destiny, and that's what kind of shifts us into miracles. So I guess my name is Dr. Joan Hangarter, and I went from being a chiropractic healer to listening to the voice of spirit. And now in everything I do, I'm sort of a paintbrush for these divine beings who come through for uplifted consciousness. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing. But yeah, I love everything that you do, and you know that we've actually gone over to your place many times, and we've actually had one-on-one sessions with you where you've kind of just like flown into it, really not just improvised impromptu meetings where you've helped expand ourselves and just tap into it. So I feel like you have this innate energy and this essence, whereas you say yourself, you're here to fluff people's wings, and that's really important right now.
It is so important because, you see, we're here. The times that are happening now, what's unfolding on planetary, these chaotic shifts, are what we were called here to do. It doesn't matter how old you are, which group of beings you came here to do. You have a mission here. And if we can help you stabilize and remember what that is, we can actually help shift the planet and activate it into this higher new frequency that will emerge. So I feel really blessed to bring the work out and blessed to be an oracle. That's what I consider myself, an oracle, a visionary artist, a guide for mastery, your mastery.
Right. So do people come up to you and ask you, what is their mission? What do you recommend for people? What do you feel at first when people say to you, what's my mission? And then what do you recommend to them in order for them to shift into what they love and dream?
Well, people come to me for private sessions, and we look at, first of all, what you're here to do, and there's keys for that. There's almost like a drawer in the Akashic Records that has your name on it, and it has the information, and we kind of start to draw from there and look at what your overall mission is, and then what are the obstacles and the challenges, because except if certain people are born at a young age and they know and they just take right off. But for the rest of us, sometimes we have to take a lifetime to see it, or many years. But it usually has to do with what your gifts are, what your real talents are. If you really start to acknowledge all the things that you do well and your intuition and your psychic gifts and service, it usually can start to come. And that's how I work with people. We start to evolve that. We look at what's happened to get you, say, off track, and we let that go. We fluff your wings a bit, and we help you move on to get it done. Because we have to get it done now, Neil. There's no extra time here.
Yeah, exactly. Like time. Right now, it's a call for action. So that's another point. Right. That's why it's great having you at the conference coming up in October, because we have a lot of awareness being shared, but it's a balance, Like a lot of the information that we're giving out in this community is very linear information. It's information that we need to learn. So the other component is the experience of consciousness and of feeling it. So part of what you're here to do is really to help people come back into the heart, because it's really easy to go into the mind when it comes to what's happening on the planet and Ascension and everything. So I feel your part of that is really the heart.
That's really true. Hold on, I'm just moving places here.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, it is. It is because, I want to be there on time tonight. We live on a 3D planet, and I can't bilocate yet. I'm supposed to be funny, Neil. Okay. But yes, and waking up to who we are is so important, and it's so easy to pass ourselves by and not listen or have fear take over. And so, like tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to look at really what we're here to do, and I'm going to help everyone. I have what we call a miracle toolkit, a vibrational alignment toolkit, and we're going to look at what that feels like so that we can go out in the world and handle all this. And yes, it's experiential, Neil, because
Yeah.
You know, for all the science there is, unless we feel it in our body, it won't happen for us in those ways. You can't follow a cookbook to get to heaven. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's really important to be practical with this awareness, and that's what's been happening. I would say, like, since 2012, maybe before 2012, it was a little more esoteric, a little more new agey, but now it seems that it's becoming even more and more practical. People are starting to figure out ways how to implement this into their lives and what kind of tools they can do to do so. So a lot of people that come to you, you're providing them with insight with themselves so that they can come up with a practical way to empower themselves, right?
Well, that's how it works, yes, because I can't do it for you. You know, last year, New Year's Eve, my guides were very profound. They said, Joan, you are an Ascension Oracle guide. You're to teach mastery. And I really thought about that. And then they showed me this particular painting I did, and it's a cathedral, a temple, and they turned me around and they said, your job is to get everyone to the door and call them here, but if they go through the door, that's up to them. Like, you're not responsible with how they manage it. If you can get them up here, though, you know, if you can help them remember enough to get there, they'll take over. They'll help.
Right. So what's the experience going to look like tonight? I know tonight you're going to have a PowerPoint presentation. Can you maybe guide us through, for those who are maybe on the fence of coming tonight, letting them know what they're going to experience?
Okay, well, bottom line here is the following. I am an experiential kind of woman, a teacher that really wants you to feel it in your heart. So we will start with what are the components of really activating and awakening your own personal power for miracles. What's it going to take? And I'm going to show you what it actually feels like to you and looks like when your vibration is high and how you can measure it so you can assess the places you're going to go. That's pretty powerful right there. And then we are going to do a miracle activation meditation where we will each have a chance to really connect with the masters of miracles, feel their power, and we're going to create miracle activation grids across the globe and connect them so that the highest frequencies would be around. So I suggest, if you want to become like an antenna for miracles, this is the place to be.
Right. And for those of you who don't know about what Joan has been doing for the last, what has it been? Is it 40 days or 45 days, Joan?
Oh, my God.
That you've been doing
this is the 45th day of a 44-day Listening to Miracles campaign. That's been outrageous. Every day I've done a video that takes each of the cards and the messages that come through, or I take you into my story and share with you the tools that I personally use to connect with the divine, with these angels that came to me several years ago. I don't know how. I do this. We work our miracle magic, our manifesting together, and that's what I do, to learn how to use this new deck that's come through. And I can't say I created them, Neil. I'm only a paintbrush. The best thing I do is follow instructions. Okay? And I can teach others to follow instructions. Okay?
Right,
So,
and part of the 44 days, what you've really shown, Joan, is a huge commitment to consciousness, where you've been at this for 44 days, and we're really good friends. So, and you already know this, but I'm gonna say it out on the radio that, like, I'm extremely proud of you because you really stepped up in your own reality to be the light and beacon for other people, you know, and with the complete awareness that everybody else does the work on their own. You're just a facilitator, you know. So what I think a lot of people can get out of what you're doing is just that commitment to consciousness, where right now is the time to step up. The call for action has been, like, said throughout the universe, you know, like the world, the systems around us are crumbling. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to just sit back and watch it happen and check our bank accounts every day? Or are we going to take action and try to create this paradise on earth where we can all live in unity, you know?
That's so well put, because it is. It's a call to action. And, just like I said, the cards actually made themselves. I got these nagging feelings, and I know when I get these nagging things from Spirit that I have to do it, because if I don't, I go off track. And I know that's true for all of us, that people are getting these calls. So that's, I think, one of the things we're going to talk about, too, is activating these callings, and listening to them and moving forward. And I'm getting more excited as we're talking, actually, just because I'm excited you bring this out, Neil, and that we have all these people who are wanting to do this with us. So this should be good tonight.
Exactly. Yep, can't wait. And let's shift now a little bit and talk about your painting. And why don't you tell us all about how you even started painting and what your paintings represent? Because you're going to have your paintings at the Portal to Ascension Conference, so it'll be a great opportunity for people to come out and actually check your paintings out.
Yes, and I will have some of the originals. But let me explain this to everyone. Really, guys, I was a doctor of chiropractic and a consultant, and I was not an artist. And then 4 years ago, I received these intuitive messages to paint 33 angels in 30 days. My first response is, oh, come on, you've got to be kidding. Like, that's so much work. And then by the end of that night, because it was Halloween, I guess the portal was open, I said, yes, something happened inside me. And I said, you know what? What do I have to lose? In the end of 30 days, I'll have either 33 angels or I won't. And so I went for it, and they downloaded this, and I became what I like to say is a paintbrush for these divine beings who privileged me with angels and portals and temples and ascensions and all sorts of UFOs and ships and star beings for you, for humanity to see them, because I answered the call. In fact, they told me that they sent out that call to thousands of people, and I, Joan of Angels, said yes. So that is what happened.
Right. And Joan's artwork is. Go ahead, Joan. Sorry.
Well, okay, I know you're going to say something about, but I just say that I'm a paintbrush. They hide and behind the corner. They wait for me to take out my brush. People walk in and they're greeted by old friends, and they carry the energy of live, interdimensional beings for healing. That's all I have to say. Mm-hmm. Okay, your turn.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And Joan's artwork really emanates this frequency that you can just pick up on just by looking at it, and it calls out to people. And just a testimony about being there, because my wife Sol and I have been to Joan's multiple times. We've stayed there the night, and you can just feel the frequency. So she's, in essence, drawing painting these paintings, but putting in the energy of these beings at the same time. And she has a whole house in Desert Hot Springs that's decked out with her artwork. It's like a beautiful gallery. And Joan, you're going to be bringing some of your paintings to the conference, right, and set them up over there?
Absolutely. I will bring some of the original artworks, which I very rarely travel with because I don't want to injure them, but I will bring some of them. A couple of pieces are calling that maybe we'll put on either side of the doorways going in or some special places. But they carry high frequencies. So the archangels are present in the energies. Krishna is always present. It's such if you had asked me when I was young, starting my life, oh, Joan, what are you going to be doing? Like, do you ever see yourself talking to angels? I would think I would never have dreamed this, Neil.
Mm-hmm, I know.
That is what I want to tell you.
Yeah. I would say that I never dreamed I'd be, like, talking about extraterrestrials, but then I would say maybe I did dream that.
Oh, I kind of think you always knew you were an extraterrestrial, but how to bring it through.
I know. Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy. It's beautiful.
Isn't it crazy?
I'm really excited. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go for it.
Well, here I am driving. I'm going to pull over and let this guy, he wants to do this by me. Hold on. All right, FedEx bringing packages. what it makes me think of is that as we grow up, we learn what our gifts are, and we start making a series of choices that gets us to the door, that gets you, say, the portal to ascension, and me to hearing the voice of angels. I think it depends on which doors we decide to go in and follow, and what vibration.
Exactly, yeah. Well, Joan, I'm really excited, as you know already, that you are one of our best friends and really dear to our hearts, has been there with us through many, many, many things. So I'm really happy that synchronistically you just happened to be the first person to be on this series for the conference, and it was meant to be. Same day we're doing an event together. So I'm excited.
It's pretty funny.
That it's awesome.
I love it because I was the first person last year, 2017, for your Portal to Ascension series.
Oh, yeah, that's true, huh?
So now I'm the first person here.
So I'm extremely excited to have you at the conference. We'll be meeting up with you in a couple of hours from now. And before you get off, do you have any last words that you want to share with us?
Yes, we all have the ability to step into our destiny, just like Neil is doing, and do what we came here to do. It's just a matter of saying yes, yes, yes I can, yes I will. Everything we're doing tonight, the Miracle Path, the Miracle Toolkit I'm sharing, is designed to help you align with what you're here to do this lifetime. And I'm so excited to share the work with Neil and Phil and Neil and all of his people and my people. This is our time, guys. And this is meant to be up to us. And we are being called to step up. So I love you so much, Neil. Love your people. I'm at joanofangels.com. And what's this website? AwakeningToMiracles2018.com. That's all about the new cards, the new Oracle deck, tonight's event also.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Joan. Love you so much. We'll see you in a couple hours.
All right. Love you too. Bye.
Right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So again, everyone, if you want to check out Joan of Angels, joanofangels.com, or awakeningtomiracles2018.com, which is her card deck and is the information that we're sharing today, the campaign that she's been doing ever since the beginning of the year, really pushing forward the concept of Awakening to Miracles. And you can check her out live 7 p.m. tonight, like 3 hours from now, in Irvine, California, at the School of Multidimensional Healing Arts. Please come out. It's a free event. If you can't come out live, you can go ahead and tune in to youtube.com/portal to ascension. All right, everyone. So thank you all so much for being with us here today. We're going to close up right now, but just a couple of announcements. We do have a lot of events coming up. We've scheduled all of our events for the rest of the year. From now until October, we will have all our events live on portaltoascension.org for our webinars and live streams, and globalascensiontours.com. And we're going to be doing events with Graham Hancock, Michael Tellinger, Brian Forster, and then many people on our online platform. So take a look at that. Again, go to our website, portaltoascension.org. You can even Google it. The best thing to do is Google it and just add everything that shows up. Add Instagram, add YouTube, subscribe. The more subscribers we have, the more we're able to get this out to the masses, and the more we're able to get the proceeds needed so that we can continue doing this work and getting bigger and bigger. So the easiest and the best thing that you could do to help us out and support us is go to youtube.com/portaltoascension and then click the little bell right there, the notification icon. So every time we go live, we upload a video, you get it. If you watch the video, that contributes towards our rankings, our YouTube payments. It gives us all this added and needed energy in order to keep doing this work. So that's the best thing you can do for us. Also, join us on Instagram and everything like that. Go to our website, portaltoascension.org. Sign up where it says, sign up for free member portal access. When you sign up there, all you need is your name and email. You will get an automated email within 30 minutes with your login information to our website, where you can log in and you can view hundreds of hours of epic revolutionary footage, everything from ancient civilizations, conscious nutrition, extraterrestrial awareness, sacred sexuality. The list goes on and on and on. Everything you can really think about within consciousness. So go ahead and sign up, join the movement. This year, we're really taking things to the next level. And then for our conference, ascensionconference.com, go ahead and check that out. sign up right there. Save that date. Within 1 week, it's going to be live. It's going to be the biggest event out of 10 years of event production, 10 full years of event production. This is going to be the biggest thing that we've ever created. We're putting everything into it. Every single event we're doing from now until then, all over the world, is going to be funneling into that event. The headliners, Graham Hancock, Robert Schoch, Nassim Haramein. And then we have, let me tell you the other speakers really quick since we're here online together. We have people, I can't tell you all of them, I don't have the list up, but we have Jimmy Church, Alan Steinfeld, Robert Perala, Trisha McCannon, Paula Harris, Grant Cameron, Jordan Sather from Destroying the Illusion, Justin DeChamps from Stillness in the Storm, Teresa Yarnaros from Divine Frequency, and then another 10 presenters. There's going to be sound healings throughout the whole entire weekend. There's going to be a concert a Saturday night with some epic, amazing conscious musicians. There's going to be a didgeridoo experience. The didgeridoo experience is going to be 10 to 20 didgeridoo players blasting the room before we even start the event. The following day, we'll have the gong experience, where we're going to have the same amount of gong players playing the gong and vibrating the room into another dimension. So this event isn't just a standard conference. This event is really going to be an experience. So I hope to see you all there. Please check it out, ascensionconference.com. But the number one thing you can do, go to portaltoascension.org, sign up, go to YouTube, sign up. All right, everybody. So this has been Neil from Portal to Ascension. Thank you all so much for your energy, your love. And we're going to be doing more and more of these events coming up soon. And I highly recommend you follow our channel because we have some interviews coming up with Graham Hancock, Robert Schoch, Nassim Haramein, some epic speakers with some epic awareness that is really shifting the paradigm that we live in right now. So please join us again. We'll be live tomorrow. And I think the next person we're going to be with is John D'Souza. And thank you so much. We love you very, very much. Have a beautiful day, beautiful evening, wherever you are. Take care. Bye-bye.